So before we get started, I would like to give a small introduction about our distinguished speakers. So after that, we can go into the webinar. So Mr. Nikhil Natarajan is a seasoned software delivery management professional with over 18 years of experience in the development of mobile, TV, and browser-based applications. He specializes in delivery management, program and project management, and has an extensive background in overseeing OTT, IPTV platform development and deployment. Nikhil is also an AI evangelist and an author contributing to the field with his insight into the AI from managerial perspective. Certified as a Scrum Master, Prince 2 practitioner, and Safe and an Agilist too. Welcome, Mr. Nikhil, to this webinar.
Thank you, Renu.
I shall be making you as the host now.
Thank you, Renu Matthew. So thank you very much for the nice introduction as well. As Renu introduced, I'm a program delivery management. I started as a developer. I'm a software engineer by profession. I started as a developer and moved to program management, project management, program management, and then into delivery management in the recent years. I have a strong focus on media industry. Over the last 15 years, I am focusing in the media industry. And as Srini has mentioned, I have developed large-scale programs managing distributed teams across globe. I was mostly concentrating on OTT platforms in the recent years. At least in the last 10 years, I was concentrating on OTT platforms. In terms of methodologies, I'm following almost all the frameworks. I am a certified Safe Agile practitioner. I'm a Prince 2 practitioner, and I'm a certified Scrum Master as well. So over the last 2-3 years, when the AI boom happened, I started understanding about artificial intelligence. And as I am a project manager, as I'm a program manager, as I'm a delivery manager, I started connecting the knowledge what I'm getting about artificial intelligence, and I was trying to understand. I was trying to leverage the knowledge in my daily career. So that is what I'm going to discuss here today. I have authored a book recently, which is called Half Human, Half Machine. This is the book. This is in fact available in Amazon and Kindle. This is also covering or targeting the project managers or the budding project managers who are either a project manager today or interested to be a project manager. So they can understand artificial intelligence on a high level and how artificial intelligence can help you in your daily life from this book. This is available in Amazon and Kindle. You can try. So in today's session, let us discuss about how AI can help a project manager, or in another way, how a project manager can benefit with artificial intelligence. This is what we are going to discuss today. We will do a small exercise to start with. With that, we will try to understand how artificial intelligence can benefit us. Let me try to share my screen. Hope my screen is visible now. Yeah. Fine. I'm using a spreadsheet just to communicate with you all. You can unmute yourself, or you can interact in between. I'm okay for that. Let's do an exercise together. What I'm trying to do here is how a traditional project management, I'm just trying to set the context to ensure that all of us are in same page. Okay, so here I'm trying to define the activity of how a project manager will plan a project and execute it when he is assigned a new project. I'm taking a new project as a use case. So if you are assigned as a project manager of a project in the traditional method without artificial intelligence, in the method which is followed today, what you will refer first? You will first go and refer the SOW, right? That is the first document which you may go and refer, right? What would be the second action you will do as a project manager? You will ask for the stakeholders. You will ask for the contact persons, or whom I should contact, who are the day-to-day, to whom I should interact on a daily basis, right? There could be multiple levels of interactions to be taken care of. So you may, as a project manager, you might be interacting with a manager at the customer end. There could be a team lead who is working in your team. He would be working, he or she would be interacting with the team lead in the customer end. There could be a manager for you, and that manager would be interacting on a regular basis with the manager of your customer stakeholder, and there could be a board level interaction. So identifying that stakeholders is what you will first do as the first step, right? Then what you will do? you are told to prepare a plan, right? You have to anyway, before initiating, you have to, before executing the project, you should have a plan. So what is the first action you will do? You will definitely contact these customer, the stakeholders. You will try to understand the requirement, right? What is that you are supposed to deliver after so many hours or so many days? Maybe your project is a project for 6 months. So in 6 months, what is that you are supposed to deliver? You will call this customer, or you may set a meeting with the customer. You will understand what is to be delivered. As a software delivery manager, I may contact the customer. I may ask, okay, what are the expectations for you? Which product you are expecting in another X number of days, or what is that you are planning to deliver? There could be a set of team for the customer as well, right? So they will give all the requirements. So understanding the requirement is the first thing what we will do, right? I'm going, skipping some of the actions in between, but then just trying to go in a high level. So we will break into smaller pieces. That is the usual activity, right? We have some big project to be completed. We are dividing it into multiple activities. So some in IT, we call it as user stories or project activities, right? So we are creating smaller pieces here. Then what would be, was it a question? Okay. So once we have some understanding on what to be delivered, our next activity would be to identify the activities, right? How can I develop this? Or let's say if I am told to develop a building, I understood that this is a residential building. This is a building which should have 3 bedrooms, 1 kitchen, etc., etc. So I understood the high level scope. Then I have understood, I'm breaking it into smaller pieces. I'm planning for a foundation, I'm planning for walls, I may have a plan for a roof. So all these I have broken into smaller pieces. Then I will list down the activities, right? I will have a sequence of activities. Then I would have some estimate for this. Please ignore the typos. I will have some estimate. So with this, you will have an idea of what you are going to do to achieve the delivery, right? So how to deliver this, what is that you should do? That is defined here. Then definitely once you have this is a time estimate, right? Once you have this, the next is you have cost estimate and you have your budget ready. Correct? There might be some procurement required. We can put a plan for procurement, what to be bought and when to be bought. This is something which we will, as a project manager, we will definitely plan. There are X number of materials to be bought, right? So that is also planned. What would be the next item which will come to your mind? We will have to set the quality and quantity of the deliverables, right? We will put a quality and quantity definition. Then we will understand who to work on this, right? The resources. What is the skill required? How many members are required? So basically, with this, we have a high-level idea on what to develop. We understood the requirement. We have a set of activities planned. Then we have the cost. We have a budget now. We define the quality and quantity KPIs. This is what the acceptance criteria. Then we have identified the skill what is required for our software application. We might be discussing with the architects and finalizing, or with the guidance of customer. We might have finalized to develop in Android as the front end, React.js for the web-based application, and Node.js in the backend. Maybe going for a MERN, MongoDB as a database. So there could be some definitions, right? If it is a civil construction, there could be some definitions. So all those are defined there. We have decided what is the skill required for the resources. Procurement also is finalized. What would be the next action we will take as a project manager? Any answer? We will understand the risk. We will list down the risk. What are the risks may happen? Assume that you are delivering something for an event. Your project is to deliver lights for an event, and the event starts on a particular date, let's say on November 10th. So you are supposed to deliver and install on November 5th, right? That is the project you have. You are supposed to hand over complete your project by 5th of November. What will happen if there is a delay in production? What would be the impact of that? So that you have to plan in advance, and the mitigation, right? The mitigation plan for this risk. So this you will plan. Then what you will plan? The communication, right? What are the, we already identified the stakeholders, right? So all these stakeholders, we have to communicate on a periodic basis. Could be on a, let's say meetings. I'm calling it as meetings only. There could be daily meetings between the team leads. There would be weekly meetings between the project managers. Your manager at the higher level could be the delivery managers would be interacting on a bi-weekly basis, and the board could be interacting on a meeting on a quarterly basis. So all these communication you are planning. There could be another version of it, which are the reports. You would be sending a weekly report. The team members would be updating on a daily basis, or maybe for each task. So what are the reports you are going to deliver, right? So as a project manager, these are the, I'm ignoring, okay, let us take the execution plan part also. So once you have all these plan, there are, if you follow PMBOK or any structure, there could be more stages. I'm ignoring this, but on a minimum scale, these are the things we should do, right, as a project manager. So when it comes to execution, you don't have anything here, right? You already have the understanding. You just have to control and manage all this. You just have to ensure that things are happening within this budget, within this time. You are not taking up additional tasks. No additional activities are there. Sequence is followed. So all these are just managing, right? What is where you will have some work? You will have some work. Yes, you may have to procure the required items as planned. You will have to manage here again, and you will have to communicate. So this is how a typical a beautiful project will flow, right? You have a proper plan in place, and you are executing it without much hassle. You just have to do the procurement. You just have to do the communication on time, so that the team will run the project. That's how the standard non-critical projects will move on. I would say, when I say non-critical, the projects which doesn't have so much of dependencies and so much of challenges, right? So let's take this as a use case, and let's connect this to a real use case for ease of discussion. Let me call Nikhil as a PM itself here, okay? Assume that this is the project in front of us. We are conducting a session on artificial intelligence and how artificial intelligence can benefit a project manager. This is the project for us. So what would be the first activity in front of PM Nikhil? I have to, I'm given a topic, right? The topic is finalized. Or maybe I'm just told to plan a session. So I will have to plan a date. That's the first thing, right? I will have to plan a time. I will have to finalize the topic. Then what? Then I may have to identify a teacher, right? Identify a speaker who can talk about this particular topic, right? Then I may have a marketing plan to inform the attendees, the students, right? So I may have to put a marketing plan. I might be not doing the marketing as a project manager. I might be informing the marketing team to do the marketing, right? So I have done that. Then I may work with the UA team, the designers. So these all, as a project manager, I have to do, right? Then I may have to arrange some materials. Arrange materials. What else I should do? I have to schedule the session, create the link for all of you to join, and during the event, I have to mark attendance. Then what else? Support, if in case some of you are facing some technical issues, I may have to support. And post event, I may have to send a thank note. I may have to follow up. So these are the steps I, as a project manager, will follow, right? I'm just putting some high-level session. This is happening on 26th of October, right? Now this event happened. I have followed all these steps. I have sent thank you note and I'm following up also. Now by after 2 weeks, the management came back to me and told, Nikhil, as a project manager, you have another project. And the project is saying you have to conduct similar session on, let's say, 25th of November. This is the project assigned to me. I have to conduct the same session. So I have a project in place. I have a date in place. I don't have to spend. Let me do one thing before this. What is the time I may have to spend for this? To finalize a date, I might have spent some 1 hour or half an hour, might be by checking the calendar, understanding all the details. So for date and time, I have spent 1 hour. To identify the topic, I would have spent half a day, which is relevant for that region. Identifying a teacher, I'm doing this job for last 2-3 years. I'm a very experienced project manager. Assume that I'm doing this job for last 2-3 years, and I have a list of teachers. So I have a topic in front of me. I have just searched, okay, which is the teacher who is experienced in this kind of topic. So I can identify some 10 teachers immediately. I've finalized someone. Let's say I have spent an hour for that. Working with the marketing team is not very easy. Definitely, I would have spent some 8 hours for that. Working with UA team is also time consuming. I would have spent some 4 hours. Arranging materials, I would have spent some another 4 hours. So these all are nowadays automated, but I'm keeping 1 hour as the session is for 1 hour. So to mark attendance and to support, I have to definitely be here for 1 hour or 2 hours at least. Okay, spending thank you note, I'm spending another half an hour, and follow up, I'm keeping 2 hours. So this is the total cost for total time I have spent for planning this event, right? So 23 hours. I'm calling it as let's say 3 Mondays. This is the time Nikhil as a project manager spending to conduct this project, to complete this project. Okay. Now I am told to conduct the same event, same project on 26th of 11, that is 1 month later. So I have all the data. I have a date. I'm not spending any time because the management has given me the date and time, right? Topic is there. Identify teacher is 0. I don't have to spend any time, right? Marketing plan, I have it, but the first project on 26th of October, the session was targeting the African continent, whereas for November, we are targeting the Asian continent. So there should be some change in the marketing plan, right? So I'm going to spend some 4 hours, 50% of that. Creatives also can be same, but I'm spending 1 hour for that. Arranging material, I have almost everything, but little bit of customization. So I'm spending 1 hour. This is anyway non-negotiable. And thank you note, I have everything. So I have to just customize it for Asian students and follow up again. So with the experience and knowledge I had, this is the saving I could make, right? I was working for this organization. With that experience, I could conduct a project, complete a project in 23 hours, 3 Mondays. And when it comes to the recurring session, I have to spend another 10 hours for this, right? Let me call it as 1.5 Mondays. So this is almost 50% of saving, right? This is what we usually do. That's how we maintain the same team. So we can avoid the recurring task, repetitive task, and we can leverage the knowledge here. Now assume that instead of Nikhil as the PM, we are engaging a AI tool, and that is named as AI Nikhil. Okay, AI Nikhil is engaged for the second session, not for the first session. First session is conducted by the PM itself, and we have all this data in our system. Now, if it's an AI tool, what would be the time spent by AI Nikhil? Anyway, these two is 0. Topic is again 0. Identifying the teacher, initially for the actual session, the first session, the PM has spent around an hour, but for an AI tool, hardly it will take 2 minutes. I will explain how AI is going to achieve that. But with the knowledge we have in the last two years, we all are using AI here and there. At least all of you would be using ChatGPT or Copilot. So with that knowledge, you know that identifying teacher is a cakewalk for an AI tool. So it may take 2 minutes, not 1 hour. It's 2 minutes. Marketing plan is handy with an AI tool. So it may take another 8 minutes. I'm keeping 8 minutes max. Creatives, 4 minutes. Arranging materials, it is there, but still I am going to keep 4 minutes. AI tool doesn't have to be there in the system to mark attendance and to support, right? It's all automated. So I'm not spending time here. Here another 2 minutes and follow up 2 minutes. So altogether, the time spent by AI tool is 22 minutes, not hours, right? So here it is 1.5 man days. Here an AI tool can conduct the same project, complete the same project with just few minutes. So that is the context of adapting to this ecosystem. So now at least we have some tools in front of us which is available in the market, which can help you to speed up the process. We should understand how the evolution of this kind of processes happen. Human has a problem. We are always lazy, right? We always try to mimic something. We try to identify something which eases our daily life. That is a basic habit of human, and that's how the innovations happen. All innovations are actually for identifying or to making our life easy. If you have heard about Industrial Revolution 1, which happened in 4 decades back, what was Industrial Revolution 1? Industrial Revolution 1 was steam engines, right? Steam engines were not for 4 decades, 6 decades, 7 decades back. So machines, human were working without machines at that time. With the power of steam, we started using machines, right? When it comes to Industrial Revolution 2, what was that? Just the electricity. So with electricity, the machines started working at a higher speed. And the Industrial Revolution 3, if you search in internet, you can see that it is the invention of computers, which is to speed up the computing, the calculations, right? That's how the computers came. And now the experts call artificial intelligence this era as the Industrial Revolution 4, because now we don't need a human intervention to do most of these activities. We just have to give an instruction to an AI tool to do all these without human interaction up to an extent. There could be sensors, there could be some triggers for all this, and with that, without human interaction, an AI tool can do that job. You might have already heard about the driverless cars which are there in the market now, they're in the roads now, right? So how the driverless cars are operating? It's with the knowledge of driving a car which human were having and understanding what is happening around the vehicle when it is in the road, right? Leveraging these two knowledge, the car will drive by itself. If there is some obstacle, the car will stop. If there is a deviation, the car will deviate. So that is the basic principle, right? So that's how industry is changing, right? So if we are clear on this exercise, now it's a period that we have to start using some AI tools, right? So now with this, can I understand the audience a little bit? What is the expertise of this audience? If you all are allowed to chat, please share in the chat whether you all are experts in artificial intelligence or whether you all are just beginners, so that I can show you some of the tools and can go a little bit more detail if it is necessary. Explain you how an AI will be able to do this. See, to understand the structure of this is a little bit theory. So, but as a project manager, you should have this knowledge. Then only you will be able to liaise with your team with the meeting locally. I think Edubex team can answer this. There is a request to record this meeting. Okay, so yeah, so we were saying how AI will be doing this, right? So assume that anyway, we all are familiar with computers now. We don't have to go to that details, right? So with a software application, what will happen? If it is a software application, you will have to give an instruction, right? You have to give an input. The software will process it and will give the output, right? This is the basic principle of a software application. So where during the process, what will happen? It will check the rules and it will check the database and will this is non-AI. Okay, this is how a usual software will work, right? This is the usual structure of a software. And when it comes to AI, we have some differences. You may have to learn these names. We have something called Edubex team. Can we take some action on this because it's disturbing me? Can I allow or deny?
Please deny it. It's a recording one, so please deny it.
Yeah, okay. Fine. So I'm taking an AI use case here. Okay, so instead of input, we call it as prompt. Okay, then we have a knowledge base, right? What is knowledge base? Just assume that this is a big database, a database which is not smaller like your usual database, but it is like trillions of data in a huge database. Okay, that is what our knowledge base is. Then we will have some rules, as we have mentioned there. Then we are expecting our output. This is the structure of an AI tool itself. So here, what we will have, let me call it as an interface. Okay, so interface will have some rules and what to be done, right? And it when we are giving a prompt you consider as an input. The interface will define the role and will check with the knowledge base, give the output. This is the structure of an AI system as well. But the difference is, instead of a database, this is called as an LLM, okay, large language model. And instead of rules, we can call it as a model. So what is the difference is, let me talk about pattern now. Okay. So let's say 2, 4, 6, 8. What would be the next number? It should be definitely 10, right? Because it's incrementing by 2. Same way we might be having something called 5, 10, 20, 40, 80. So the next would be the double of 80, right? So we know that this is a pattern. This is we can easily find a formula for this. Let's say y is equal to x plus 2. This is the formula for first one. We don't need to be super intelligent to identify the formula for this. This is how our computing works, right? So now let me try to open something. Vegetables and fruits. Okay, I'm taking an image. So I'm showing this image to someone and I'm saying that there are some vegetables and fruits in this basket. Okay, and I'm telling I'm teaching someone who is very small, let's say in the kindergarten. I'm telling that student that this is an apple. Okay, so now the student knows that this is an apple. I have shown a real apple as well. Now if I am showing another set of apple, okay, ignore this apple. Okay, I'm showing this image. That kid will definitely understand that this is an apple, right? We don't have to tell, okay, if the student is having enough memory and the basic learning capacity, he will recognize that this is an apple. And if I'm showing this image, what will happen? The student will have a doubt whether this is an apple or not, because it's not the same as this one, but he will guess that this is an apple again. This one he will understand that, yeah, this is again an apple. But this one, you all are able to see my screen, right? The green apple. So the green one, the student will definitely have a doubt whether this is really an apple or not. So he will have a doubt and he may stop there. Some students may predict that, okay, this could be an apple. Okay, this will definitely, he will not be able to answer. So this is how the predictions happen in human, right? We know some, we have some knowledge, we connect it with the new images, and we are trying to assume, we are predicting that this is something similar to what I have seen earlier. Same way, if you are seeing a cat, you will definitely see another cat, and you will be able to recognize that this is a cat, right? So this is how the patterns are recognized by human. And artificial intelligence system, an AI tool also will understand the patterns in the same way. Means if we have given something earlier, some knowledge earlier, system will try to understand that knowledge again by comparing with the previous learning what the system is having. Just understand that much as a project manager. I'm not going into the details of how the pattern is happening, getting identified. There are multiple levels of learning for an AI system. We teach students in a school. That's called instructor-led learning, right? Supervised learning. There are unsupervised learning where system will predict something new that will generate something. There is a model called generative model. So that is a different method. So let us now study only about patterns. So pattern is very clear. It's something which is usual or something similar, right? So the model will identify what is the pattern based on the knowledge available in learning. Okay. And what is that to try to understand? The prompt. So what is prompt? Prompt is nothing but the input or the instruction which we are giving to a learning model or to an AI model to perform an action. Okay. So now, if I am telling you that I am a project manager, let's go back to the earlier process. Okay. Here, I am assigned as the project manager of this project. Fine. So as a project manager, I have a AI tool. Okay, I'm telling that AI tool that I have to schedule, I have to plan. I need a project plan to schedule a session on artificial intelligence and project management. This is the prompt I am giving, right? So this is an input we are giving to an AI system. What will happen then? It will the model is there. The model knows that this prompt is to understand or to create a plan based on the knowledge available in our LLM. So the model will interact with the LLM and provide you a plan, and you have a plan. This is how the AI ecosystem works on a high level. There would be many different. You can, if you are going to internet and can search, you will find L number of LLMs available, like ChatGPT, OpenAI. ChatGPT is a tool, but OpenAI is the, or GPT 4.0 is the LLM. So many LLMs are already there in market for multiple purposes. Models are also like that. Fine. So I'm assuming that you are able to get a picture of how AI ecosystem works. Right? Is it clear so that I can move forward? If the participants can at least respond in chat, it would be good for me to understand the how the session is progressing. Fine. So I'm assuming that you are able to follow me. So let me show you some of the tools which we can see. Fine. I believe all of you would have used Canva. Canva is not a very great AI tool, but it's definitely a tool which project managers can easily use. That's why I'm showing it here. If you are not using Canva, start using. This is something which has a lot of features to prepare your presentations. Okay. Now I'm coming to another tool which is an AI based, which is Simplified. Okay. So Simplified is a tool which has multiple capabilities. Let me see. One of its capability is the AI designer. AI designer is nothing but it will create new PPTs, new presentations based on the prompt you are giving. Okay, I just created something right before this session. For the sake of time, I'm just opening that. So here I have given a prompt. A prompt is what the instruction we are giving, right? Let me see whether I can show you the prompt. So the prompt what I gave was very straightforward. I told them to create a PPT to present during a session on artificial intelligence and its benefits to project managers, how it can help a project manager. That is the prompt I gave. Okay, and see how the system has given, how simplified.com has given me a presentation. Right? This is a presentation created by, I'll try to show something new so that you will be able to understand. At least a new project generate with AI presentation. Okay, I'm going to give the same prompt here. I'm typing as create a PPT, how AI can help. Okay, and I have a setting here. What is the format you required? 16:9 is the usual format we follow, the widescreen format. Then personalization options are there. You can select the language, you can select the creativity learn, etc., etc. I'm just keeping the default and clicking on next. So the next is I'm asked for some default patterns, some themes, some designs, right? So I'm choosing the one which I have shown earlier, which is the only free option, but you have option to buy some design and can create. And clicking on generate. Okay, so now what is our expectation as a project manager here? As a project manager, I am expecting that I should get a presentation which gives me a proper structure, okay, which gives me some material, some images and some text, preferably some videos, some use cases, some research material on how this is going to impact the industry, right? So this will be the expectation of a project manager when I am asking to develop a PPT about artificial intelligence, about project management, right? That's what I have asked. So let's go through the slides now. It's telling me that, okay, this gives me an intro. I have an option to edit here. Fine. Then the next is an introduction. It's giving me some text. So what happened is, what would have happened in the backend at this time? So the prompt is given. I have given a prompt to create a PPT, right? To create a PPT. Then the model is what we saw it as, or let's say call it the interface as the simplified. Simplified.com is the interface we have, right? Then there is a model behind this interface, which is the real algorithm or the decision, which interacts with the LLM and collects the data from the backend. What it will have to do then? Nikhil has asked to create a PPT on project management and how AI is helping project management. So the model will tell the LLM to list down the data or to generate some data on project management and AI, right? So that is what happened here. So that data is here. It first created a list of items to be taken, right? It first is definitely the structure, the topics. Introduction is the first topic. Second slide is about benefits of AI for project managers, tools and technologies, AI-driven decision-making process. So like that, they have listed a list of items. Then what happened? Then the model went back to the LLM and told that now I have the topics ready. Now I need details of each topic. And that is what written here. Correct? Benefits of AI is written here. You have to, first of all, none of these AI tools are mature to use it as is. All these are in an assistant format now, right? So as a project manager, you have to read this and have to ensure that this is matching your requirement. But you have something handy. That is the advantage. So this way we have a presentation of 11 slides, 10 slides handy with you. Now you have an option to export this and then to work on it. You may have to add some real use cases, right? Here case studies are there, but it's not real. You may have some real use cases which are specific to your particular domain or specific to your customer, your organization. So you can add all those here. So instead of spending 2 hours or 4 hours to create a PPT, you can use a tool like Simplified. Search for the alternatives of Simplified. There are hundreds of AI tools available already in internet, which are many are free to use also. Here I think some limited number of presentations only you can create for free. But there are tools available which you will be able to create a number of presentations and use it. So now let us try this with a text generating AI tool. So you all would be knowing ChatGPT, right? Many of you would be using ChatGPT. I'm giving the same prompt to ChatGPT. Create a presentation to present during a session on AI and its benefits for project. How AI can help. Same prompt which I gave to Simplified, I'm giving to ChatGPT. Let's see what's happening. Right? So it's giving me ChatGPT. The difference is ChatGPT has a model. Here the prompt is same, right? Prompt is same. The only difference is interface is anyway. You can ignore that. The model is different. So the model used for Simplified is having the capability to generate a presentation using a theme. Whereas ChatGPT is using a model which has the capability to generate text. So that way, each model will have some defined skill, some defined capability. There could be some model to create videos. There could be some models to create animations. There could be some models to create some images. So understand that each model will have a different capability. So as a project manager, your future role will be to identify how proper prompts, identify a right model, how proper LLM. And in future, that's what going to be the job of a project manager as well. Okay. So now let's come back to ChatGPT and see what is the suggestion from ChatGPT here. So here ChatGPT is suggesting me to create a presentation of 12 slides with some kind of text, etc., etc. So I have some structure here. If you doesn't want to depend on a tool like Simplified, you have an option here. You can go here. Now I can go back and tell ChatGPT that I need a better definition. Okay. So I'm getting a detailed description of what I'm supposed to make here. Right. So I have a slide. I have a slide ready. Means I have a structure ready. Now ChatGPT is telling me what to write here. But if you have seen, see, this is like an essay. So you cannot keep this in a slide, right? So you can again tell ChatGPT to provide this in 5 bullets. So it will give a precise version, right? So this is something you can take to this slide. So this is another method you can prepare your presentations. So I'm skipping this to another product. So instead of ChatGPT, let me introduce Perplexity for those who are not familiar with Perplexity. Perplexity is a far better, in my view, my personal view. Perplexity is a better tool which you can use, and it's free at the moment. You can use in your mobile as well. This gives you better text when it comes to research materials. So if you are trying to research something, you will get the advantage is this one. ChatGPT is not giving you the references, whereas Perplexity will give you references. If you are using Copilot, that also gives you references. Okay, so I'm moving next. So this is another tool which you can try, GeniPM. GeniPM, this again I'm saying I'm showing you one tool which you can find 1,000 alternatives and you can try. These are just interfaces. The GeniPM is an interface which might be connected to a model which is already there in market or a new model developed by that company and could be using a different LLM. So all these are independent components. So when you are trying as a project manager, when you are trying something, you should try multiple alternatives to find out the right thing for you. Okay. So here let us do an exercise again. We will come back here. Let's say you are in the stage where you signed the SOW. Now you are told to prepare a plan, right? And Edubex is the organization. Edubex is telling the project manager to prepare a plan to create an EdTech app, right? We need an EdTech app to be created. So I'm writing a project name, new project as create EdTech app. Okay, and I'm going to give some description also. This description is going to, so this is the description I'm giving about the EdTech app. Okay, so I'm going more specific on the requirement here. Develop an EdTech app to teach students on project management, and the app should have the option to enroll students, should have the option to discover learning materials, notifications for all users, and live and recorded video session. This is my project. Okay, I'm going to create. You have multiple options here. This could be more aligned to IT professionals, but most of the project managers follow this. You would be preparing a product requirement document. You would be having user stories. You would be defining tasks. You would be having bug reports, right? So I'm choosing user stories now, and I'm clicking on create project. Now my expectation is to get some user stories which is ready for my team to start using. That is my expectation from GenPM now. And let's see what is going to be the output. So GenPM should ideally give some task like, okay, create a login screen, create a screen which is for the registration, create a social login, create a screen where students can identify the learning materials. There should be an option to take a surveys or exams. Fine, there should be notifications. So all this is what our expectation, right? So this is taking some time. Let it process. By the time we will see another project and another tool and come back. Okay. This is another tool which you can try, gitbook.com. I can share these links later, or maybe you guys can note it down if you are able to note down. So this is another tool which you can use, gitbook.com. This is also free at the moment. Here, if I am giving a details, just an instruction, a smaller prompt, create a story to develop login screen. Any application would require this, right? A login is required. So I'm just giving this action, and this is the output I got. Developing a login screen. The login screen is essential. This is the requirement. Remember me, forget button. So I'm getting all these ready there. Okay, so this is what I was expecting, right? I'm getting some user stories that as a user I want to access to recorded video sessions for review. As a user I want to participate in live video sessions. Two activities are given, two ideas are given, right? Now I'm clicking on generate details. Right? So the expectation is this should give me more details about what is there inside this. So you should that's just given a details. Let me open this. See, this is the feature, access to recorded video session. As a user, I want to access recorded video session for review, and it has given the details. It has set the acceptance criteria. It has set the definition of term. Now, I may, as a project manager, I got the user story. That is done, right? Now I have to assign this to some engineers. That is the next activity of a project manager, right? You have to assign it. What is that? For that, you should define your activities. See, if you take this, understanding the requirement and breaking into smaller pieces, that is done by GenPE now. This is your understanding and one ticket, right? That is done. The next is assigning this to a particular activity is also defined here. You just have to assign it to an engineer, right? So for that, what you need, you have to break it into smaller pieces, right? You have to break it into subtasks, generate sub-issues here. So you have a set of sub-issues. Design the UI, implement user authentication, develop functionality. So you have the set of sub-issues there. You can add more manual issues also. So this way, this is something which usually a project manager will do in X number of hours, which we got it in seconds, right? So as a project manager, if I am leveraging this tool, I will be able to complete my job in less time, right? That is the advantage of using this tool. Similar is this Gitbook is a tool which is similar to Jenny. You will be able to create details of each story from Gitbook. If you are using ChatGPT also gives similar description. You can give the same prompt here. You will see that ChatGPT also has the same capability, because all these tools are, if we come here, we discussed about a model, right? All these models are text generating models. The capability of these models are to create text based on some knowledge. So that knowledge is what different for, that LLM is what different for, or the knowledge base is what different for all these applications. So now let me show you another application, which is Forecast app. Forecast app is it's something I'm not talking about Jira or Confluence or any Atlassian product. It doesn't mean that it doesn't have AI capability. It has AI capability, but I'm not showing it here because that's a popular application. So try Jira or Confluence, which already has AI capability. I'm showing you the other applications. So this is something which you will definitely find it useful. Forecast.app. This helps you to organize your activities, mostly to track your day-to-day activities, like what you do in Jira. So this helps to automate a lot. Okay, it's something which you can try. This is another project, another application, Rike. Rike is something which is similar to Forecast, where you will have option to define your task. You will have option to sequence it. You know that which has to be done and what is to be done, which is first, which is second. So that scheduling you can continue and you can check the status here. Okay, reassignment. All basic functionalities required for a project manager is available here in Rike. You can search for the alternatives of Rike, and many similar tools are available. You can try all this. ClickUp is something similar. I think I got logged off. ClickUp is also something which you should try. Something which is near to mature or something which is equivalent to Forecast. You can definitely track your entire project management activities here. This is another tool, Monday.com. Monday.com is, I would say, very popular as well. So you have multiple boards option here. You have a Kanban option here. You would be having, like you do in Jira, you have a lot of facilities available. This also some, as it is very popular, I'm not going into the details. Now I would like to show you another tool which can generate a video. So here we discussed about models which is capable of generating text like ChatGPT. Now let me show you a product which is called Genma.ai. This is a video I just created 2 hours back, just before the session. And the prompt I gave is a video showing a teacher taking session online and the next shot with students attending the session. And we got a video like this, right? It has a watermark which you can pay and remove. See the originality, see the details in this video. So this is a tool which has the capability to generate videos. This would be required for you to present something. You can even, the product like Simplified and Canva has options to generate video from images. Okay. Edubex team, what is the, can we have a time check? Can we continue, or I think it's almost an hour? How we are progressing? Can we understand from the team, from the participants, how it's progressing? Is it something which is expected? Are you benefiting from this session?
Hi all, please do fill in this Google form so we can get feedback on this session.
Yeah, I believe that I was able to communicate to you all. I have not got, we have some, yeah, this is the message from Renu only. So let us hear the feedback. I think we can stop here, Renu, for today. Okay, thanks, Nikhil. If you are able to understand what I would suggest is you share the feedback to Edubex team. I will also try to understand the feedback, and maybe in the next session I can go in detail, or I can go more on high level.
Yeah, if you have any question, please use this opportunity.
Yeah, I am open to hear any question.
Yeah, please do ask if you have any question. Okay, the TechnoSpark, you can fill in the Google form so that we can reach you out with the recording.
Okay. While others share the feedback, Renu, if you allow, I will take another 2 minutes to quickly recap on what we did today, so that those who have joined in between will be able to benefit out of it. I'll take only 2 minutes for that. So what we did today is...
so much. Yeah, you can go ahead.
Yeah, sure. So what we did today is we tried to define the traditional project management activities happening in a project management cycle, right? So usually you get a SOW signed, then there could be a pre-sale cycle before this. I'm ignoring all those. Once you have the SOW, you identify the stakeholders, you list down them, you put a plan, then you try to understand the requirement by liaising with the customer. You go back to customer, have multiple meetings, then you break the requirement into smaller pieces. Activities will be listed. Okay, then we will sequence it. We will have an estimate of time. We'll have a cost estimate. We'll have the budget. We will define the KPIs, what to be delivered to the customer, what is the quality, what is the number of quantity. So those KPIs are delivered. Then we will define the resources, what is the skill required, how many members are required. So all these are the usual project management planning session, right? Procurement, what has to be procured, when to be procured, what would be the risk, what will be the impact, what is the mitigation we can plan. So all these will be the usual project management planning cycle, right? So what we did is then we tried to map all these activities to a real project management use case, which is planning a session like this. Okay, so these are the activities we did as part of conducting a session on 26th October, which is today. So now the management came back and told the PM, which is Nikhil here, to conduct another session targeting a different demographics, which is earlier we did for African continent. Now we are targeting Asia, and we have to redo the same session. So this is the estimate of time, or this is the actual time we have spent, Nikhil has spent as a project manager, which is 23 hours, and that's equivalent to 3 Mondays. When we are repeating the task, we are saving almost half of that, right? That is usually. Now, if it is all repetitive task, and if it's an AI instead of a human, what would be the savings here? Instead of 10 hours, the AI could complete it in some minutes, roughly 22 minutes. These all are just rough estimates for the purpose of this discussion. So this is the context we set. This is why we as project managers should adapt AI. There were so many discussions happening whether AI is going to take away the jobs of project managers. AI is not going to take away any job, but all jobs are going to be augmented with AI. If you are a project manager, you will utilize the tools which I have explained after this, and those tools can be used to improve your output, improve your delivery, improve your project planning. Okay, the same is applicable for all other jobs. If you are a doctor, the patient would first interact with an AI tool in near future instead of going to a consultant or to a junior doctor. Nowadays, if you go to a hospital, you will be first seeing a junior doctor. The junior doctor will get the basic details about you and would pass it to the senior doctor, and then only you will meet the doctor, right? Same way, in future, the AI tools are going to interact with you and should take the initial data. Same way, same is applicable for a legal practitioner. A legal practitioner may not be required to collect the initial set of legal advisors. Maybe the next set, the legal advisor would be required. So this way, all domain, all jobs are going to change. I would say, all jobs are going to be augmented with AI. Then we understood the structure of AI ecosystem. AI ecosystem has an LLM, a model, a knowledge base, a prompt, and output. And we have gone through some of the tools like Canva, which is not very AI prompt, but some AI capabilities are there. Jenny PM, we discussed about Simplified, we discussed about ChatGPT, we discussed about Perplexity, Gitbook, Forecast, Trike, ClickUp, Monday, and Genmo. So all these are just references. Search for the alternatives and you will find a number of tools which are similar to this. Okay, that's what we discussed today. Renu, over to you.
Yeah, thank you. And is there any question which you want to ask? I hope this session was really informative to all. And if there are no further questions, please, and you wish to get the recorded sessions of it, and we would like to hear from you regarding the feedback on this webinar, please do fill in the Google form, which I have shared earlier. And thank you, Mr. Nikhil, for this wonderful presentation and a wonderful session. And I'm pretty sure that the learners have benefited out of it. Thank you so much for your time and for very detailed explanation.
Thank you, Renu. Thank you, everyone. Bye.
Thank you all, and have a pleasant evening.